In a world where chaos whispers from every corner, where headlines scream uncertainty, a profound question echoes in the human heart. It is a question that transcends cultures, creeds, and generations, touching upon the very core of our existence. Are we merely walking towards an end? Or more disquietingly, in the quiet desperation of our daily lives, in the relentless march of time, has it already begun? Consider for a moment the subtle, unsettling shifts happening all around us. The digital cacophony, the incessant stream of conflicting information, the feeling that the ground beneath our feet is less stable than we once believed. It is an internal resonance, a deep, pervasive sense that something fundamental is changing, unraveling perhaps. This is not about the sensational images of destruction often associated with the word apocalypse, though those too serve as stark reminders of our fragility. No, this is about something far more insidious, far more personal. For millennia, humanity has searched the scriptures, gazed at the stars, and peered into the shadows of history, seeking answers about what many have called the apocalypse. We have imagined cataclysmic events, grand spectacles of cosmic upheaval, a definitive moment of reckoning. But what if the most profound, the most revealing signs lie not in distant prophecies yet to unfold, nor in external earth-shattering events, but right here, in the texture of our daily lives, hidden in plain sight, woven into the very fabric of our modern existence? What if these signs are not the thunderous arrival of judgment, but rather the quiet erosion of what makes us truly human, truly connected, truly purposeful? These are not the disasters we might anticipate with fear and trembling, but rather silent transformations reshaping our very souls and our world, altering the landscape of our collective spirit. This video offers clarity, not fear. It is not designed to ignite panic or despair, but to illuminate, to draw back the veil, to reveal a perspective that might just change everything you thought you knew about the end times. We are not pointing to a distant, abstract future, but to a present moment that demands our immediate, conscious, and prayerful attention. As a guide, as a friend walking alongside you on this journey of reflection, I invite you to consider these truths not as dire warnings, but as urgent invitations. Invitations to awaken, to discern, to truly see the world around us with new eyes, with a deeper understanding, with a heart open to revelation. We will unveil 7 profound signs of the apocalypse. These are not merely observations of societal decay. They are echoes of ancient wisdom resonating in our contemporary moment. Through a spiritual and analytical lens, a lens sharpened by both faith and a keen awareness of our current global condition, we will explore how these end times might truly be a call to a new awakening. They are signals that, when understood, can transform our understanding of where we stand in the grand tapestry of human history and divine purpose. This journey is one of introspection, of honest self-assessment, and ultimately, of profound hope. Prepare, then, to view the world not as it is superficially presented, but as it truly is, with new eyes, a renewed spirit, and a clearer sense of your place within it. The eclipse of objective truth, the era of post-reality. My friend, having considered the profound question of whether an end has begun, let us now turn our gaze to the very foundation upon which we build our understanding of the world, and indeed, our lives. We speak of truth. For generations, there was an unspoken agreement, a shared understanding that certain facts, certain realities, stood immutable, verifiable, a common ground for all. But look around today. Have you noticed a shift? A subtle yet pervasive dimming of that shared light? This is not merely about the existence of lies, for deception has always walked among us. No, what we are witnessing is far more unsettling, the corrosion of the very idea of a shared objective truth. This is the eclipse. It is an era where reality itself seems to fragment into countless personal narratives, each claiming its own validity, often contradictory, often fiercely defended. Think of it not as a simple mistruth, but as a deliberate blurring of the lines, a proliferation of alternative facts, an individual informational bubble so dense that the very notion of a universal fact begins to feel quaint, even naive. How can we build community? How can we truly connect? How can we even, dare I say, find spiritual grounding if the ground we stand on is constantly shifting beneath our feet? If our very perception of what is real becomes a matter of personal preference or algorithmic suggestion? Consider the digital architects of our daily lives. Algorithms, once hailed as neutral tools, now act as silent curators of our individual realities. Each click, each view, each interaction fine-tunes a personalized echo chamber, reinforcing existing beliefs and gently, subtly, filtering out dissenting voices or alternative perspectives. In this carefully constructed digital world, we often find ourselves consuming information that confirms what we already believe, creating an illusion of consensus where none truly exists. This leads to a strange paradox. We are more connected to information than ever, yet paradoxically, often more isolated in our understanding of the world. It's a profound spiritual challenge when our digital landscape constantly shapes our perception of truth, leading us further away from a shared human experience. Then observe the rapid, almost instantaneous dissemination of conspiracy theories. These narratives, often intricate and emotionally charged, compete directly with meticulously researched and verified information. They tap into a primal human need for meaning, for understanding complex events, offering simple, often captivating, explanations. The challenge is not just their existence, but their ability to gain traction, to be embraced as equally valid, if not more compelling, than empirically supported facts. This phenomenon profoundly erodes our collective capacity to discern, to separate the wheat from the chaff, to distinguish between speculation and substantiated knowledge. As Psalm 15:2 reminds us, "He who walks blamelessly and does what is right and speaks truth in his heart." But what if the heart itself is constantly bombarded with conflicting versions of truth, making it increasingly difficult to discern what is truly right? This erosion extends to our fundamental institutions. Trust in journalism, in scientific consensus, in governmental pronouncements, it all seems to be dwindling. When the sources we once relied upon for objective reporting and impartial analysis are themselves questioned, attacked, or dismissed as biased, where do we turn for a shared understanding of our world? It leaves us feeling adrift, anchorless in a sea of competing narratives, struggling to find solid footing. This loss of collective trust has profound implications for the health of our societies, making it harder to address common challenges, to find common ground for cooperation, and to foster a sense of unity. My dear friend, this spiritual disquiet, this sense of a fractured reality reminds me of the ancient narrative of the Tower of Babel. There, human beings in their hubris sought to build a tower to the heavens, only to have their language confounded, leading to misunderstanding and ultimate dispersion. Today we are witnessing a kind of digital Babel, where despite our interconnectedness, our individual languages of truth have become so diverse, so personalized, that genuine foundational understanding and shared purpose become increasingly difficult. How can we construct a future together? How can we truly love our neighbors as ourselves if we cannot even agree on the basic contours of the reality we inhabit? Psalm 119:160 declares, "The sum of your word is truth, and every one of your righteous ordinances endures forever." This speaks to an enduring, ultimate truth that transcends fleeting human narratives. Are we losing sight of that enduring light in the glare of so many flickering, self-made truths? This eclipse of objective truth is not just an intellectual problem, it is a spiritual crisis. It challenges our capacity for empathy, for justice, for shared purpose. It asks us to confront the very nature of belief in an age where everything can be questioned, and nothing seems sacredly factual anymore. Where, then, do you seek your truth? Is it in the echo chambers of your own digital feeds, or in the quiet discipline of seeking wisdom, of testing spirits, of discerning what truly aligns with enduring principles? And what happens to our collective soul when we all live in entirely different realities, unable to find a common language for the fundamental questions of life? The famine of the soul in a digital feast. The epidemic of disconnection. My dear friend, we have just reflected on the troubling erosion of shared truth, a fragmentation that leaves us adrift in a sea of personalized realities. Now let us consider another profound shift, one intimately connected to this first sign, a paradox that gnaws at the very core of our being, the increasing famine of the soul in the midst of a digital feast. We are, without a doubt, more connected than any generation before us. Our devices hum with constant notifications, a relentless stream of messages, likes, and comments. We can instantly reach out across oceans, see faces on screens, and participate in conversations with thousands. Yet, in this hyper-connected landscape, a profound loneliness seems to be growing, an epidemic of genuine human disconnection. How can this be? Think of it. We are offered a banquet of digital interactions, a smorgasbord of virtual relationships, but so often, the nourishment we truly crave for our souls is absent. It is like being surrounded by elaborate dishes, beautifully presented, yet finding them utterly devoid of sustenance. Our deepest human need is for authentic connection, for eyes that truly see us, for ears that truly hear us, for hearts that truly care. But many of our digital exchanges, for all their speed and breadth, often lack this depth. They can be fleeting, superficial, a mere performance rather than a genuine encounter. This constant seeking of external validation, the like, the comment, the share, becomes a substitute for the internal peace and self-worth that comes from being genuinely known and loved. Does this not leave a hollow ache, a profound spiritual hunger, despite the endless scroll of digital affirmations? The evidence of this soul famine surrounds us. We see a truly alarming rise in anxiety, in depression, in a pervasive sense of emptiness, especially among our younger generations who have grown up steeped in this digital feast. They are told they are connected, but many report feeling profoundly alone, constantly comparing their imperfect realities to the curated highlight reels of others. This compare and despair culture, fueled by the relentless algorithms we spoke of earlier, is a direct assault on our inner peace, on our contentment, on our ability to simply be present and grateful. It fosters envy, dissatisfaction, and an incessant striving for an unattainable perfection. It is a spiritual battle fought daily on the screens we hold in our hands. Consider, too, the nature of our digital friendships. We might have hundreds, even thousands of friends or followers online, but how many of these connections translate into genuine, tangible support when life truly hits hard? How many are there to sit with you in silence, to offer a comforting hand, to truly listen without judgment when you are at your lowest? As a shepherd to many, I often see the pain of those who are surrounded by digital noise yet find themselves isolated when faced with real-world struggles. It is an illusion of intimacy, lacking the very substance that builds true community and strengthens the human spirit. Psalm 133:1 beautifully reminds us, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." This unity, this pleasantness, stems from genuine present connection, not mere proximity on a server. Our souls, my friend, crave something far deeper than what the digital banquet often provides. They thirst for authentic presence, for shared vulnerability, for a purpose that extends beyond fleeting notifications. This profound emptiness we observe, this spiritual void, cannot be filled by endless scrolling, by virtual applause, or by the constant chase for more external stimulation. It is a hunger that only genuine human connection, a profound sense of belonging, and a vibrant spiritual life can truly address. It is a sign that we are perhaps losing touch with the very essence of what it means to be human, and indeed what it means to be connected to the divine spark within us, the Creator who designed us for deep, meaningful communion. As the deer pants for flowing streams, so our souls pant for something more, something real, something enduring beyond the fleeting glow of a screen. How many of your connections, when truly examined, are profoundly superficial? And how much time, how much true energy, do you dedicate to nourishing your inner life, your spiritual well-being, in contrast to your ever-demanding online presence? The silent cry of creation, our fractured stewardship. My friend, we have confronted the fading light of objective truth. leaving us to navigate a world of fragmented realities. We then wrestled with the paradox of profound disconnection in an age of hyperconnectivity, where a digital feast leaves our souls starving. Now, let us expand our gaze beyond ourselves, beyond our immediate human interactions, and listen closely. Can you hear it? A persistent, often unnoticed lament that rises from the very ground beneath our feet, from the deepest oceans, and from the furthest reaches of our atmosphere. It is the silent cry of creation, a desperate plea born from our fractured stewardship. This is not merely about what is often termed climate change as a scientific phenomenon, though that is undeniably a critical aspect. This is about something far more fundamental, a deep spiritual and ethical failure in our relationship with this magnificent planet, the very home that has been entrusted to our care. From the earliest scriptures, we are reminded of our sacred responsibility, our mandate to tend to the garden, to cultivate and keep it, to be guardians, not exploiters. But somewhere along the way, we seem to have forgotten this sacred trust. We have treated the earth not as a precious gift, a living testament to divine artistry, but as a boundless resource, an inert object existing solely for our immediate gratification and profit. This relentless pursuit of more, this insatiable hunger for progress at any cost, has led to an exploitation without bounds, a profound disrespect for life in all its myriad forms. The consequences, my friend, are now undeniable and are calling us to account. Consider the stark evidence that unfolds before us, the rapid and alarming extinction of countless species, each a unique thread in the intricate tapestry of life, now vanishing forever. These are not just names in a biology book. They are marvels of creation, parts of an ecosystem that provides balance and beauty. Their disappearance is a profound loss, a tear in the fabric of existence that we are responsible for. Witness the relentless destruction of vital ecosystems, the lungs of our planet, the nurseries of life, ancient forests reduced to timber, vibrant coral reefs bleached into ghostly skeletons, fertile lands turning to desert. Each act of destruction reverberates through the intricate web of life, impacting not just the local environment, but the global balance. This is not simply an environmental issue. It is a spiritual wound, a violation of the sacred covenant we have with the earth. And then there is the omnipresent pollution, an insidious poison seeping into every corner of our world. It saturates the air we breathe, the water we drink, the very soil that nourishes our food. From the industrial plumes that darken our skies to the invisible microplastics now found even in the most remote corners of our planet, and disturbingly, within our own bodies, this pollution speaks of a disregard, a casual indifference to the long-term health of our home and ourselves. It is a stark reminder that our actions have consequences, that there is no away for our waste, and that what we inflict upon the earth, we ultimately inflict upon ourselves. It is a slow, methodical poisoning, a betrayal of trust on a monumental scale. Yet despite these undeniable realities, we often encounter a pervasive denial of responsibility, a stubborn refusal to acknowledge the gravity of our actions. The allure of short-term profit, the relentless demands of immediate convenience, often override any consideration for the legacy we are leaving, for the generations yet to come. We find ingenious ways to rationalize our consumption, to defer accountability, to push the burden onto future shoulders. This ethical blindness, this prioritization of fleeting gain over enduring well-being, is a symptom of a deeper spiritual malady. It reveals a profound detachment from the sacred interconnectedness of all life. My dear friend, if we are truly unable to care for the garden that was so generously given to us, this magnificent earth, how then can we truly expect to care for one another? How can we speak of love, of compassion, of community, if our actions demonstrate such profound neglect for the very source of our sustenance and beauty? This silent cry of creation serves as a powerful, undeniable sign. It reminds us that our profound disconnection with the earth is not an isolated issue. It is a direct reflection of our disconnection from one another, and ultimately, from the Creator who breathed life into this wondrous world. The scriptures tell us that the whole creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth right up to the present time. This groan, This silent cry is a call to awaken, a call to repentance, a call to restore our sacred role as stewards, not masters. It is a sobering thought, is it not? To realize that the very ground we walk upon bears witness to our actions, that the air we breathe carries the weight of our choices. This is not about guilt, but about acknowledging a profound truth. It is about understanding that our spiritual health is inextricably linked to the health of our planet. When we abuse the earth, we diminish ourselves. When we heal the earth, we begin to heal our own souls. The question then becomes, what is your personal role, however small, however seemingly insignificant, in this grand narrative of preservation or degradation of the natural world? Are we listening to what the earth, in its profound patience and suffering, is desperately trying to tell us? Its silent cry is becoming louder, and its message is for all of us. The ascent of the algorithm, life under digital sovereignty. My dear friend, we have reflected on the groaning of creation, that silent cry from the earth that testifies to our broken stewardship. We've seen how our external world reflects an internal disquiet. Now let us turn our attention to another powerful force, one that operates not in the grand landscapes of nature, but in the intricate, often unseen pathways of our minds, shaping our choices, our thoughts, and even our very emotions. This is the ascension of the algorithm, a subtle yet profound shift towards a life lived under a new form of digital sovereignty. It is a quiet revolution, not of kings and armies, but of code and data, gradually, imperceptibly, becoming the unseen architect of our lives. This is not a dramatic uprising of robots with physical chains. No. The control here is far more sophisticated, more insidious, because it often feels like convenience, like guidance, like a helpful hand. But consider this. Artificial intelligence and the algorithms that power our digital world are no longer merely passive tools awaiting our command. They are evolving into active shapers, becoming architects of our preferences, our perspectives, our very understanding of the world. They curate what we see, what we read, what we buy, even whom we might connect with. This steady, often unnoticed influence subtly diminishes our human agency, our capacity for independent thought and genuine discernment. They project a future for us, molding our trajectories without our full conscious awareness or consent. It is as if an unseen hand is gently but firmly steering our vessel, while we, engrossed in the journey, barely notice the tiller being controlled by another. Look at the countless examples in our daily lives. From the moment we wake and scroll through our news feeds, to the videos suggested for our entertainment, to the products recommended for our purchase, even to the potential partners suggested for our affections. Algorithms are meticulously at work. They learn our patterns, predict our desires, and present us with options that reinforce what they've already learned about us. This personalization, while seemingly benevolent, creates deeply entrenched informational bubbles. We are constantly fed news that confirms our existing biases, opinions that echo our own, and perspectives that rarely challenge our worldview. This leads to a dangerous intellectual complacency, making it harder to engage in critical thinking, to consider alternative viewpoints, or to truly stretch the boundaries of our understanding. Our spiritual growth often depends on encountering diverse perspectives, on the uncomfortable but necessary act of questioning our own assumptions. When algorithms filter this out, are we not stunted? Furthermore, the growing dependence on artificial intelligence extends far beyond personal entertainment. We see its increasing integration into complex decision-making processes across vast sectors. In the financial markets, where algorithms execute trades at lightning speed. In healthcare, where AI assists in diagnoses and treatment plans. And even in matters of national security, where patterns are identified and responses are suggested by machines. While the promise of efficiency and enhanced capability is alluring, we must ask ourselves a profound question. When these systems are making decisions that impact human lives, human livelihoods, and human futures, who bears the ultimate moral responsibility? Who programmed the biases? Who set the parameters for what is optimal? When our critical thinking, our ethical deliberation, our very human capacity for empathy are increasingly offloaded to machines, what part of our essence do we surrender? The book of Proverbs, particularly 3:5-6, advises us, Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. But what if our path is being subtly nudged by algorithms that have no concept of God, no moral compass, no understanding of the human spirit? This challenge is fundamental to our humanity. The gifts of wisdom, of free choice, of the capacity for moral discernment are precious divine endowments. They define us. When we progressively delegate our ability to think critically, to weigh ethical considerations, to make truly sovereign moral decisions to increasingly sophisticated machines, we risk losing our very essence. We risk becoming mere consumers of pre-digested reality, rather than active co-creators of our world and our destiny. This is not to say technology is inherently evil. It is a powerful tool. But like any powerful tool, it demands careful stewardship, profound ethical consideration, and an unwavering commitment to preserving human dignity and agency. The danger lies in our uncritical acceptance, our quiet capitulation to its subtle dominion. My friend, this is a call to profound self-awareness, a spiritual inventory of where our true allegiance lies, and who or what holds sway over our minds and hearts. To what extent are your daily decisions, your very thoughts, truly your own, born of your free will and conscious deliberation? Or are they, in part, a sophisticated echo of what an algorithm has determined you might prefer, what might keep you engaged, what might align with its programmed objectives? Are we actively constructing a future where humanity remains at the helm, exercising wisdom and discernment? Or are we passively observing as our roles shift, becoming mere passengers in a world increasingly steered by unseen digital forces? This sign compels us to reclaim our minds, to fortify our spiritual discernment, and to consciously choose our path. The erosion of empathy, the ascent of the other. My dear friend, we have already contemplated how the very architecture of our digital lives, governed by algorithms, subtly shapes our perceptions and choices, often without our full awareness. This silent digital sovereignty, as we've discussed, can inadvertently create echo chambers, personal realities where dissenting voices are muted and existing beliefs are constantly reinforced. Now, let us consider a profound consequence of this, a spiritual ailment that infects the very fabric of our human relationships, both online and off. The erosion of empathy, leading to the dangerous ascent of the other. This is not merely about political disagreement or cultural clashes, though these are certainly visible symptoms. What we are witnessing is a growing, unsettling difficulty in seeing the shared humanity in those who hold different views, live different lives, or come from different backgrounds. It is a slow, insidious process where individuals, groups, or even entire communities become reduced to a label, stripped of their complexities, their stories, their inherent dignity, and cast as the other. When we lose the ability to stand in another person's shoes, to genuinely try and understand their perspective, to feel a resonance with their pain or joy, we lose something vital within ourselves. We lose the capacity for true compassion, for genuine connection, for the very love that binds us as a human family. The evidence of this erosion is stark and pervasive in our modern landscape. Look at the increasing polarization across societies, manifest in political divides that seem irreparable, in cultural wars fought with unforgiving fervor. Debates are no longer about ideas to be explored and understood, but battles to be won, often at the expense of mutual respect and understanding. The digital arena ironically intensifies this. Hidden behind screens, emboldened by anonymity, individuals often engage in a cancel culture where errors of thought or expression are met with swift, overwhelming condemnation, leaving little room for grace, for growth, or for reconciliation. There is a relentless drive to demonize the differing perspective, to portray anyone who does not align perfectly with our own viewpoint as fundamentally flawed, perhaps even evil. This is a grave spiritual danger, for it closes the door to the very possibility of dialogue, of reconciliation, of finding common ground. The ease with which we dehumanize those with whom we disagree, particularly within the seemingly impersonal confines of social media, is truly unsettling. A person becomes a caricature, an avatar of an opposing ideology, rather than a complex individual with hopes, fears, and a story. This reduction allows us to justify our anger, our scorn, and even our hatred, because it is easier to condemn an abstraction than to truly engage with a fellow human being made in the image of God. We build walls of ideological purity, fortified by algorithms that feed us more of what we already believe, pushing the other further and further away, into a realm of irredeemable alienness. The distance between us grows, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. This fragmentation of universal compassion directly contradicts the timeless wisdom found in the Scriptures, in the very heart of the divine call to love. The command to love your neighbor as yourself, Leviticus 19:18, is not contingent on your neighbor agreeing with you, voting like you, or even believing like you. It is a universal imperative, a recognition of the inherent worth and dignity of every human soul. When empathy becomes a rare commodity, when the instinct is to judge and condemn rather than to understand and embrace, the very foundations of civil society begin to crumble. We cease to be a community bound by shared humanity and become instead a collection of isolated tribes, each battling fiercely for its own supremacy, its own narrative, its own survival. Psalm 133:1 eloquently asks, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." This unity, this pleasantness, seems an increasingly distant ideal when the other is seen as an enemy to be vanquished, rather than a brother or sister to be understood. This spiritual malady, this hardening of hearts towards those perceived as different, does not just affect our external relationships, it profoundly impacts our inner landscape. Constant engagement in a culture of antagonism fosters anxiety, fear, and a hardening of our own spirits. It robs us of our capacity for joy, for peace, for the expansive love that truly liberates. When we deny empathy to others, we inadvertently diminish our own empathetic capabilities, becoming less human in the process. It creates a cycle of mistrust and suspicion, making genuine reconciliation or healing seem impossible. The constant pursuit of division leaves us spiritually impoverished, starved of the grace and understanding that nurtures the soul. My dear friend, this sign is a powerful warning. It reminds us that our interconnectedness, promised by technology, is a fragile illusion if it is not underpinned by a deep, unwavering commitment to empathy. The true test of our humanity, and indeed of our spiritual maturity, often lies in how we treat those with whom we most profoundly disagree. It asks us to look beyond the labels, beyond the rhetoric, beyond the surface-level differences, and to rediscover the common thread of humanity that binds us all. It calls us to resist the urge to condemn, to practice the difficult art of listening, and to seek understanding even when it is uncomfortable. When was the last time you truly attempted to understand someone with whom you fundamentally disagreed? Not to debate or convert, but simply to comprehend their perspective. Are we, in our digital castles, inadvertently building towering walls of division, or are we actively seeking to construct bridges of understanding and compassion, one brave, empathetic conversation at a time? This is a question not just for our society, but for each of our souls. My dear friend, we have just grappled with the insidious erosion of empathy, observing how the relentless drive to define the other fragments our human connections and hardens our hearts. This spiritual ailment leaves us in isolated tribes, unable to find common ground or shared compassion. Now let us consider another profound shift, one that underpins many of these challenges, pulling us away from both the lessons of the past and the responsibilities of the future. This is the perpetual present, the loss of historical consciousness and a diminishing vision for what lies ahead. It is as if our collective gaze has been fixed firmly on the fleeting now, blinded by its brilliance and noise, unable to look backward for wisdom or forward for purpose. Think for a moment about the rhythm of time. For millennia, humanity understood itself within a grand narrative, a story stretching from ancestral beginnings towards a future yet to be written. We learned from the triumphs and failures of those who came before us, and we planned, dreamed, and built for those who would follow. But today, this linear understanding, this sense of progression and legacy, seems to be dissolving into an endless, instantaneous present. Our culture, relentlessly driven by the craving for instant gratification and the intoxicating allure of constant novelty, seems incapable of sustaining attention on anything beyond the immediate. It's not simply a matter of forgetting dates or names, but a more profound amnesia, a loss of the narrative arc, of cause and effect, of the deep wisdom gained through collective experience. What happens to a people, to a soul, when every moment is treated as entirely new, divorced from its antecedents and its consequences? Consider the digital landscape that often defines our daily rhythm. Our attention spans, once capable of sustained focus, are now constantly fragmented by short-form content, by rapid-fire notifications, by the demand for immediate engagement. Information is consumed in bite-sized pieces, often without context, without depth, and without connection to a larger historical framework. The 24/7 news cycle, for all its immediacy, paradoxically erases history. Each new crisis, each fresh scandal, eclipses the last, becoming an isolated event rather than a link in a chain of cause and effect. We are constantly inundated, yet rarely given the space to process, to reflect, to learn. This relentless demand for the new, the trending, the now, creates a shallow temporal existence. How can we discern true wisdom? How can we make informed decisions if we are constantly operating from a blank slate, devoid of the rich tapestry of the past? It is like attempting to navigate a ship without charts, always reacting to the immediate wave, never seeing the currents or the distant shore. This inability to learn from history, this amnesia, has profound implications for our capacity to imagine and plan for a sustainable future. When our focus is perpetually on the instant, on the next quarterly report, on the immediate political cycle, on the latest trend, how can we address the vast, complex, and long-term challenges that confront us as a global community? Problems like environmental degradation, social inequality, or even the ethical implications of emerging technologies demand foresight, patience, and a willingness to sacrifice immediate gains for future well-being. But in a culture addicted to the present, long-term vision becomes a rare and often ridiculed commodity. We become trapped in a reactive mode, perpetually putting out fires that could have been prevented with foresight, constantly patching up problems instead of building sustainable solutions. My dear friend, a society that forgets its history is indeed condemned to repeat its mistakes. The wisdom of generations, etched in the annals of time, in the stories, the warnings, the triumphs, and the failures of those who lived before us, is a treasure beyond measure. When this wisdom is ignored, when the voices of the elders, both literally and figuratively, are silenced by the clamor of the new, we sever our connection to a vital source of guidance. We lose our moral and temporal compass. We become children in an adult world, constantly making the same errors, lacking the perspective to truly understand the consequences of our actions. What legacy are we then leaving for our children and our children's children? If we cannot look back to learn and cannot look forward to plan, what inheritance do we truly offer them beyond the fragmented, fleeting pleasures of the moment? The psalmist reminds us of the enduring nature of God's works and the importance of remembering His faithfulness throughout generations. Psalm 78:4 speaks of telling to the coming generation the glorious deeds of the Lord and His might and the wonders that He has done. This act of remembering, of passing on historical and spiritual truth, is fundamental to a people's identity and their capacity for hope. When we lose this, we lose our narrative, our sense of purpose, and ultimately, our hope for a better tomorrow. The future, without the anchor of the past, becomes an intimidating void, and without a compelling vision, it becomes a space devoid of meaning. This perpetual present is not just a societal trend, it is a spiritual crisis. It starves our souls of the depth and richness that comes from understanding our place in a larger narrative, from recognizing the divine thread woven through history, and from embracing our responsibility to contribute to a meaningful future. It leaves us rootless, adrift, and without a guiding star. So I ask you, my friend, in this relentless rush of the now, can you still recall the significant events, the hard-won lessons, the profound transformations of just 10, 20 years ago? Are we truly building a lasting legacy, a foundation for those who will follow? Or are we simply consuming the present, leaving little but echoes in our wake? What kind of future are we capable of conceiving when our gaze is so narrowly fixed on the flickering screen of the immediate. This sign calls us to reclaim our history, to embrace our future, and to live with an awareness that transcends the fleeting moment.